For latest astrology videos, subscribe AstroEdify channel and press this bell icon to get notified when a new video goes live.
Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about Mercury in 6th house. What kind of general results we can see if Mercury is placed in 6th in anybody's case, good and bad both. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is given in the description. And for people who are interested in spirituality, religion, philosophy, and come up with questions, big questions of life, like who am I, is there any God, is there any purpose or meaning in life, all these questions, they tend to come up in your mind sometimes. I have started 2 new channels in Hindi as well as English. Their links are shown in the card section above, as well as they are given in the description below, where we are discussing from various aspects or of multiple school of thoughts, whether it is Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, and right now we are discussing the Advaita Vedanta, what it states about the reality of life, and I hope that you will get good clarity about these questions. So I request you to watch those videos, subscribe to the channel in order to associate with the spirituality and philosophy videos as well. So let's come back to the topic and talk about Mercury in 6th in anybody's case. So 2 situations which we are going to discuss are, first, if Mercury is well placed, and second, badly placed. So by well placed, I mean that Mercury is in own sign, exaltation sign, friendly signs, and the zodiac sign in which it is sitting, the lord of that sign is strongly placed in the chart. Then another point here is that the Lagna lord and sun and moon, they must be well placed in the chart. They should be strong or suitably placed, because they control the inherent fundamental strength of the chart in for everybody. So no matter what planet you are looking at, you need to first see that how moon, sun and ascendant lord are placed. If they are strong and they are making good yogas, it means that the chart has strength in it. And if they are not well placed, they are weak and afflicted, then it means that the chart will lose the power. And even though you have well placed, exalted or strong planets in the chart, they are not going to give expected results, because their potential strength will be reduced to quite a lot. And even if you are running their dashas, you won't find that much results as you thought. So that you have to keep in mind, that moon, ascendant lord and sun play a very vital role in judging the horoscope. Then if they are also well placed, then Mercury will be considered good. And let's suppose Mercury is also associated with good planets, making some good yogas in the chart, like Kendra lords, Trikona lords, or making Viparit Raj Yoga in 6th house. So it means that Mercury will have a capacity to give good results also. Now see that Mercury is one of those planets which perform well in 6th house. It is the only benefic actually, like Jupiter, Venus, Moon, Mercury are all natural benefics. Mercury is the only benefic which helps in 6th house as compared to other ones. So the thing here is that, see, 6th house is a difficult placement, because 6th house is a malefic house. It is the house of struggles, delays, challenges, diseases, loans, debts, enemies, court cases, any kind of struggles in your life. So it's not considered good for anybody, or any kind of losses we see from 6th house. So the planets which are placed in 6th house, they have capacity to bring those elements in life, and they are not good ones, of course. So Mercury here, no matter how well placed it is, you will find that some or the other way it will throw some kind of challenges related to the 6th house. It can vary from person to person, chart to chart. It is, in some case it can be related to health, for some it can be related to career, education, loans, debts, finances, some enemies or stiff competitors or rivalries can be seen, some legal issues can be seen, some family problems can be seen, anything. So it depends from chart to chart what it is bringing for the person related to the 6th house areas. But ultimately, if Mercury is well placed, and as we are discussing good placement of Mercury here, first situation, so no matter what kind of issues it brings related to 6th house, ultimately it helps you to overcome those struggles and win over them. So this is a very good placement for winning over the problems in life, and ultimately find yourself that I am able to overcome all those struggles, challenges, obstacles, or any kind of difficulties which I was facing in life. And the reason here is that, see, that is why I said that Lagna Lord and Moon play a very vital role. If they are not well placed, then this won't happen. If they are well placed, then this will happen. Because now what will happen, that Mercury is what? Mercury is your intelligence, thinking capacity, cleverness, smartness, resourceful attitude, ability to find solutions even in hardest of the times. That is Mercury. So that is why Mercury performs well in 6th house, because even if it is landing you into some kind of difficult situations, it will still give you that level of intellect and a thought process in order to find solutions to get rid of them and win over them. So that is the reason why Mercury performs well in 6th house as compared to other benefics. So it gives those kind of traits, so intelligence, cleverness, smartness, knowledge, learning, all those things will be there. Resourceful attitude will be there, due to which person is able to handle the situation. They don't lose patience, they don't get too much anxious, and they don't lose their thinking capacity. They think that, okay, this is how the situation is, and I need to handle it in a very sensible way. So that is why Mercury is considered suitable in 6th house. Then, as I mentioned, that it is very good for getting successful in competition with anybody, or in competitive exams. Let's suppose some people sit for that, and winning over enemies also of any kind. So that is another good point for Mercury in 6th house. Then it becomes better with time, because 6th house is also a Upachaya house. So Upachaya means the more person gathers experiences, the more they learn, and the more situation becomes better over a period of time. So that is another good point of Mercury, and it teaches the person through failures, because Mercury and Saturn, they are very good for this. Mercury, Saturn, and Rahu also in some cases, but they help you to understand that, okay, this was my fault before, and I don't need to repeat it, I need to improve upon it. And Mercury also gives detail orientation, keen observation. So that is another good point, which makes it more better equipped to handle the 6th house affairs. So that is a good thing. Then Mercury is your speech and communication. So it can give you logical, factual, argumentative style of communication or speech. It also brings keen observation, critical approach. Person is able to find faults and because of detail orientation and flaws easily. It does not mean that they are criticizing unnecessarily. In some cases it can be seen, but it means that you are able to see the details in the things, due to which you are able to see that, okay, there is something lacking. So that is a good trait. Then Mercury in this case can also make person quite practical, rational, skeptical, and it also brings some kind of cunningness, because it's like, in order to survive in this world, I need to be diplomatic, I need to be somewhat rational. Over crude practicality must be there, some kind of cunningness is required if I have to survive in this ruthless world. So that is how Mercury and Saturn perform. It also gives deep thinking, foresight, a deep insightful nature, a political approach, a diplomatic political approach. It is good for bringing leadership skills in person. And see, Mercury does not care too much about morals and ethics. So it depends from chart to chart, that person can be moralistic or not. We are not discussing that point. It varies. But mostly Mercury is like, I want to keep to my own aims, my own goals. I am not very much concerned about the law and order and the morality or ethics of the world. So that is because Mercury is a businessman. It thinks about himself first rather than other things. So this is a general aspect. Then it is good for education. If you need to see other combinations. If Mercury is well placed, then it will be bringing good education, but particularly learning from first-hand experience. Practical experience will be more as compared to bookish knowledge. Then it is good for certain fields like all banking, financial service, insurance industries, anything related to money. Mercury will be good for that, whether it is BFSI, whether it is fintech, whether it is commerce or accounts, audit, economics, banking, finance, anything related to money will be suitable. Then it is good for general management and administration, healthcare and life science industry, defense and police and security industry. Then it is good for media, mass communication, journalism, and people who are into commission based jobs, who are working as some agents or some brokers kind of things. It can also be suitable for lawyers, politicians, sports, lobbyists. Very good for that. So Mercury is quite suitable for these areas to be associated with, if you have such yogas of other planets as well. Then generally it gives more mental clarity after the age of 25. Before that, there can be certain kind of confusion going on. Generally life becomes more it's like I am more clarified in terms of my direction after 25 years of age. So that is also a good point of Mercury in 6th. So these are general beneficial results of Mercury in 6th. Now we are going to talk about if Mercury is badly placed. By badly placed, I mean that it is in enemy signs and it is in debilitation sign with no cancellation of debilitation, no Nij Bhanga at all. The zodiac sign in which it is sitting, the lord of that sign is badly placed in the chart and heavily afflicted. Then Mercury is also afflicted by 6th, 8th or 12th lords, which are also badly placed, or Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, which are hampering Mercury in bad signs. And at the same time, while being placed in enemy signs or bad signs, Mercury is retrograde, or it is completely combust, or it is in Mrityu Bhag, or it is in deep Papakartari Yoga, hemmed between malefics. So and at the same time, Sun, Moon and Ascendant Lord are not well placed. The more of these situations will be there in the chart, the more Mercury will become negative and will lose the strength and will become the cause for bringing several problems in person's life. So all the things I'm going to tell generally what we can expect, but you don't have to jump to conclusions. See other planets, how the combinations are happening, and then arrive at a proper decision that okay, this is how it can be reflected in my own case or somebody's case whose chart you are looking. So the thing here is that generally what we can expect if Mercury is badly placed, and remember that the intensity will vary from person to person of negative results, because the more negative results Mercury the more negative aspects Mercury is getting, the more negative results it will bring. So first of all, what we can see here is that because Mercury is your intelligence, logic and decision making capability. So problem will be that person, because 6th house is troubles, so person does such actions and takes such decisions due to misdirected mind, that and voluntarily they create troubles for them. They land into troubles because of their own poor decision making. And the thing here is that Mercury convinces the person with faulty logic that what you are thinking is right. Ultimately it is wrong, but what you are thinking at that moment is right. This is known as what you can say, kubuddhi. Means the person does not know what is good and bad for them, and what is ultimately going to be bad for them, they will think that it is very good, and the things which are going to be really good for you, you don't even think about them. And even if somebody tells you, you don't give much attention to that. So it means that it convinces you that okay, this is this thing which is ultimately going to be harmful and creating a lot of problems in my life is actually going to be quite good for me. So that faulty notion, faulty belief, and because of that faulty logical conviction, person gets misdirected and they create troubles, problems for them. And ultimately 6th house is what? Struggles and delays. So that is how Mercury functions. And Moon also behaves in the same way. If Moon is also badly placed in the 6th house, because Moon and Mercury are your mind and intellect. So if they have to create problems for you, they are going to bring certain thought pattern in such a way which will be destructive for you ultimately, and you will be convinced that okay, this is right for me, and ultimately you will take that action and you will land yourself into deep struggles. So that is how it functions. Then as I mentioned, troubles could be of any kind. It varies from person to person. It can be related to career, finances, loans, debts, enemies, competition, marriage, family, children, anything, literally anything. It depends on the chart. So the thing here is that troubles of any kind can be seen, but at the same time what will happen, that it will be quite difficult to win over the struggles, because now if Mercury is weak, what will happen? You are creating the troubles for your own self. Before, if it was well placed, as I discussed, it will always give you that thought process in order to find solutions to get rid of the problems what you are facing. But if it is bad, you will create problems for yourself most of the time, and you won't even realize that it is me who created it. So no self accountability is there, no self introspection is there, and rather than person points out to blame other people's and find excuses. That is another difficulty with Mercury here. So it's like a very confused and disturbed mindset, which is creating problems for the person himself. Then it also shows poor concentration, attention span is very weak, learning capability is poor. You have to see other combinations, because Mercury represents concentration, memory, learning, education. So if it can hamper them also. Then tendency to leave things in between, never complete the things. You start to, because attention span is poor, you don't stick to one particular thing for a long period of time. So no willpower, no dedication, no seriousness, no attention, no long term stability in a particular thing, and you tend to switch from one thing to another, and in such a way that initially you find a lot of enthusiasm for that particular thing. Later on you get bored so easily, and you leave and you find another thing to jump on. So that is another problem. Then it also shows person can be very critical, and that too unnecessarily critical or mean or jealous. And Mercury is your communication, so it actually harms the communication also. Either the communication is weak, means you are not able to express yourself at all, or have a lot of nervousness or stage fright, or low self-esteem or confidence issues, or you have trouble in speaking, any kind of speech disorders are there, or your speech is bad in the sense that either it is abusive or harsh, or you lie a lot, it is filled with lies and manipulation. So that any of these things can be seen. And it can also make person as I mentioned, Mercury is your thought process. If Mercury is bad, it can bring such kind of thought process which is considered negative. So again, you have to see the combinations, but I'm just telling. So and there are people like that, we can't deny it. So the thing here is that Mercury brings and the more moon and ascendant lord are also influenced by such placements, the more this thing will be visible. So first thing, that it can induce a lot of negative characteristics like lies, manipulation, greed, cunningness, deceitful nature, selfishness, opportunistic behavior, sycophancy, wrong use of intellect and knowledge, what you studied, indulgence in corruption, immorality, illegal and criminal activities, particularly white collar illegal criminal activities rather than violent ones. So that can be seen. Obviously it can be seen if it is badly placed in the 6th house. So remember that you don't have to jump to conclusions. See the chart in entirety. I'm just telling you the all kind of possibilities of a planet in a particular house. That's all. So you have to see that, okay, how my Mercury is functioning. It can bring mixed results also. Let's suppose it is bringing good results for something and some negative result for some area, like let's suppose it is very good for your career and finances and professional life, but at the same time it is bringing some disturbances in your health. So it depends from person to person. So in general, what Mercury can bring, good and bad both, we have seen in 6th, that I have told to you. I hope you understood that this is how you have to look up at a particular planet, and in this case how we can expect the results I have told you. That's all from my side today. If you are new to my channel, subscribe below for more. Check on my website, Facebook page, Instagram. The links are given in description. Otherwise we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye and thank you.